Hello and welcome back, everybody.
Welcome back, people.
We are not in a typical starting area. We are actually in Old Arcovia. Because we do have some quests to hand in here. Or continue with those quests. So, we will be starting off with that.
Yes, we will.
Yeah.
Yeah, we a couple episodes ago we discovered this little area, and then we kind of just what was it? This place? Might have been this place.
Probably.
Regardless, we completely forgot to go here, and then ended up doing a quest. Then we picked up a quest item, the Annals of Wachovia, and apparently it needs to be delivered here. I think.
It might be. We will find that
Going
out.
by one of the stores on the map. But yeah, you're talking, buddy.
Yeah, I will talk to Quaid first. Hello there. How goes your mission? We have destroyed the forges. I could hear the commotion you've caused from here. Well done, your payment as promised. Now, I'm wondering if you would be up for a little more work. What did you have in mind? Somewhere inside Cronley's hideout, underneath the four hills, there lives a bastard by the name Moneybags Martin. He earned his moniker exploiting poor travelers such as my old group. A few months ago, Martin and his band caught us out on the road, demanding all our valuables. I refused, and for that he took my eye. That was the day I left my rover elders, no longer willing to let this unforgiving world spit all over our pacifist lifestyle. Together with my brothers and sisters, we fight against our enemy instead of hiding and praying. I can't just leave them to pursue my revenge though. That is why I'd like you to be the deliverer of my vengeance. Find Martin, leave his corpse to rot in those tunnels, then return to me. Well, turns out we've already killed Moneybags Martin, so you're welcome.
Yeah, we seem to have prematurely
And premature kill ejaculation.
that is the weirdest way of saying it, but yes,
But I love it.
essentially.
Quaid says, you are ruthlessly effective. I hope he screamed for help, his wailing unanswered in those old mine tunnels. Thank you. You've put my mind at ease. You are welcome.
You're welcome.
Awesome. So that's one way to do it. Now we have Amkala to talk to. Did you know that Arcovia is the ancient birthplace of Rowari? I could tell you much of this land if you have time for a tale.
Sure.
Really?
I don't see why not.
Okay.
You're the one reading.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, sure, you have a point there. Please, we'd be so interested to hear the tale of Old Arcovia. The ruins that dot the landscape here were once part of a thriving culture in ancient times. Arcovia prospered by acting as a trade hub between the western lands and the Great Lake. From the little fishing village of New Harbor, which is hardly a harbor at all, the stone pylons of Arcovia's once massive docks can be seen still jutting from the water, the wood long rotted away. How did Arcovia fall? Arcovia was a proud city, but its people were overly obsessed with war and titles. The nobility constantly maneuvered and plotted against one another, sometimes leading Arcovia into civil war. Some seasons, little was planted as the common men from different thieves? Sure, were called to arms by lords squabbling with one another. Eventually, society collapsed and a weakened Arcovia became easy prey to outside powers. Provinces were lost and the domain of Arcovia contracted, yet the city itself was never conquered by foreign foes. Its death was far more sinister. What did happen to the city of Arcovia then? In the final years, decades after Rowan, the last king of Arcovia and the father of the Rowari, abdicated the throne, the great houses came to outright war over the vacant throne. Eventually, an oligarchy formed, comprised of the most powerful remaining houses. Each was ever maneuvering and plotting against the others, all believing that if they could only seize power for themselves, they could usher in a new golden era for the city. Their machinations wrought only destruction and misery, hastening Arcovia to its ruin and driving them in turn to pursue desperate measures that brought them ruin on a catastrophic scale. Its weight is still heavy upon this land. This is far too much reading. Oh. You mentioned necromancers played a part in the final fall?
Uh-oh.
The final doom of Arcovia, that which has cursed these lands ever since, was indeed delivered by necromancers. I mean,
Uh-oh. Wouldn't be.
do you feel a little bit guilty?
No.
Okay.
It wasn't me. I wasn't there.
You, I'll believe that, blindly. Necromancy is an ancient art, but it flourished
Asshole.
during the early days of Arcovia's history. That is, until it was outlawed. Necromancers were hunted down and jailed in the steppes of Torment. There they were punished for their transgressions against nature, but the dark art could never be fully stamped out. It is said that one of the necromancers imprisoned in the tower never aged, even after decades of imprisonment, and they found that he could not be killed by any means within their power. He was known by the name Uruboruk, and his seeming immortality turned against him on the torturer's table. In the end, though, he had his vengeance. How did this Uruboruk manage to carry out his vengeance? As Arcovia waned, the oligarchs became increasingly desperate and driven to extreme measures. When they learned of Uruboruk and his strange immortality, they were foolishly intrigued. The great houses lusted for the secret knowledge by which they could achieve immortality for their bloodlines, and they thought to compel that knowledge from this necromancer. Uruboruk played upon their desires and betrayed them with a false ritual that they were all too eager to believe. The souls of the Arcovians were bound eternally to their accursed city, while their mortal flesh decayed. I sense there is something you're holding back. Yes, the most terrible part of this tale. I had thought not to speak it, but you seem determined to seek the full truth. The last part of the tale is of the children birthed after the ritual's magic had taken hold. They entered this world horribly deformed and inhuman. Their feet were said to be clawed, and from their backs sprouted diseased plumage, like the feathers of birds who feast upon the dead. Not many venture into the broken hills anymore, but those who do say these accursed children of Arcovia have endured and now prey upon travelers who pass through those lands. Thus, the doom of Arcovia was complete, wiping out the past and future bloodlines of the great houses and cursing these lands to this day. Well, we have to be on our way. May your path be true. Okay, farewell, it said, but now we talk again, Amkala.
Oh, goddammit.
Yeah, that was not the quest. That was just lore. Okay, so we have found some text that you may find interesting, but please keep your opinion to yourself. That is an astounding discovery. I thank you in the name of all Rewari for bringing these texts to us. I will make certain that all rovers who visit here learn of their contents. Farewell. Thank you. Okay, that was short enough. I can deal with that. Cool.
Apparently I had to deliver it as well.
More space in my inventory now. That's nice.
Also, there is a Forsaken Spirit Totem over to the right. Apparently we've already been there, but either it respawned or it's a new spawn. I don't know how those totems work. Like, do they just pop up out of the ground like randomly, or?
That's a very good question, actually.
Because it's an area that we've explored and discovered.
Is it though?
Yeah, for me it's completely uncovered.
I mean, if I open the world, like the big map, I cannot see it. So
I can.
lead the way.
Who's been here?
It's like over here, huh? So for me, it was showing something on the map in an area that we haven't been to.
Look, it's behind this plastic wall.
How were you able to see so far?
It's just a map, man. If you hit like M, and it's like the whole map.
Yeah, okay, now I can see it. I didn't figure it would be that far.
Whoa, that's a big guy.
Yeah. Are you gonna summon stuff like that?
I hope so. Oh, I got a skeleton above my head. Don't know what that meant.
Well, here we go already with the loot.
Just gonna grab everything that's green. yellows. No, no, no. And no. Okay.
Hmm.
What about this? No. And okay.
Quickly hovering over stuff to see if it has anything that directly pops into my eye. Boy, it didn't.
I did find some. Oh, hello. Oh, hello. Hi. I got an offhand that has like 43% fire damage and 37% burn damage, but it also has 33% damage to all damage to pets.
Oh, that's pretty nice.
Yeah,
It's very nice,
pretty,
actually.
pretty sexy.
Yeah.
Just like my sister. I don't even have a sister. But yeah, I picked up some Warmonger's spolders. Just heavy shoulders. They look alright. You wanna unlock it for your illusionist stuff?
Yeah, sure. Thank you very much. They seem interesting. I don't think I have
Alright.
anything too interesting in my inventory that would be worth unlocking.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think we plan on playing through this game a second time, but if we do, hopefully it stays unlocked.
That would be nice,
Yeah. Well, since we're here,
See anything you like.
Yeah,
See what's left of my wares.
might as well.
See
I was
what's
standing over here and then I looked up the hill a little bit by moving my camera.
Yeah.
There's a skeleton party up there, and then
Yeah.
they have a skeletal priest, they have a skeletal knight. You just shot the wall.
Yeah, I was trying to shoot up, but
There's the troll over here to the right.
sweet.
Oh, what's it made out to?
Level 35. Did he even try?
Oh, he just dropped a bunch of dog doo-doo.
Shouldn't it be troll doodoo?
Yeah, it should have been, but nope.
Huh.
Just dog doo-doo.
Are you planning to be second class occultist?
I don't know what I'm gonna be. Maybe shaman
Okay, let me check something real quick.
or shaman.
No, probably not too amazing. Found some set item that would, with 2 or 3 items, give +1 to all occultist skills. But other than that, not too incredible. Unfortunately. So I'm wondering, should we go back and talk to whatever his name was? The one in...
Yes.
Oh look, we have some very angry dudes charging at us. Oh, some very angry and hard-hitting dudes.
That skill's not ready.
Oh god, I will be dropping. Yep, I'm dead.
I opened up a thingamajigger.
Thank you.
Alright, killed one. But second one might kill me.
That dot is really annoying.
That
Oh.
skill's not ready.
Oh.
No, don't walk into him.
Oh.
He did.
Yay.
Ouchies.
All I did was just run around in hopes that my pets would finish it off. I killed the first one,
Yeah.
but then the other one was just running after me and zapping me at the same time. Like, what the hell?
Yeah, it just stuck to you, that attack. It's really disgusting.
Yeah. Oof. Another
Hmm.
offhand thing that has like 60% burn damage and stuff.
Damn.
Yeah. wanted to go back to Marne, right?
Yeah, I feel maybe we could continue the main story like that.
Yeah, that
Okay.
sounds like a good idea. There's somebody called Frankie the Knife.
Since I didn't do enough reading yet in this episode.
See anything you like? Come see what's left of my
Yeah,
wares.
don't complain.
Brawler's distinction. Interesting.
Old man. Huh?
Interesting metal, but meh.
See you around.
See you around.
Give you a good price.
Alright, Horne Mornay. We have some updates for you. Should I talk already?
Yeah, go ahead.
Alright, hi Mornay.
Well, is it finished?
Darius is no more and his gang is scattered.
The world is a little safer today with that monster dead. Now what of Elsa? You must have seen something.
He says the world is a little safer today with their monster dead. Now what of Elsa? You must have seen something. And Darius did not have Elsa.
Damnation. Perhaps she escaped and ran for Homestead. Or maybe they sold her. I have to go back out there. If there is any chance that Elsa still lives, I have to find her. I owe her that much.
You know, I have a feeling that Elsa is gonna be, you know, a traitor.
It's very possible, huh? He's definitely unhappy that we did not find her, and he thinks maybe she escaped, or maybe they sold her, and he wants to go back out there. If there's any chance that Elsa still lives, he has to find her. He owes her that much. And what do we do
Now
now?
that we're not in any imminent danger, we need to deal with a more subtle enemy. Starvation. Devil's Crossing is running out of food and our supply runs are coming up dry. We need a reliable source of food and we need it fast. Barnabas has some ideas as to what we can do. Speak to him immediately.
Okay, so now that there's no immediate threat, the only threat that we need to deal with is starvation. And Barnabas apparently has some idea as to what we can do to get some food. We will speak to Barnabas then.
Really? You have to? I don't like that guy.
Yeah, well, you know, it's what we gotta do to fight starvation for them.
Alright. Who the hell is Barnabas again? Oh, the water pump guy, right?
Yeah, he's the pumple. He's the pumper bro. Pumper bros.
Come, friend.
Well, whatever.
Share a glass of clean water with old Barnabas to celebrate your victory in Burwich.
He offers us a glass of clean water to celebrate our victory in Burbage. Okay. One said you have a plan for our food situation.
Right to business then. Before the world fell apart,
He's
Burwich
voice
got its
acted.
food stocks from the vast farmlands to the northwest. With the bridge repaired, we need to find a way back to Homestead. The journey will take you far to the northwest, and I haven't a clue what's out there. Start by following the road out into the Arcovian foothills, all the way through Old Arcovia. With luck, the old coastal bridge near Twin Falls still stands. If that's not an option, you'll have to look for Smuggler's Pass. It's an old smuggling route that ran through the Broken Hills. It should connect to Homestead. We must find out whether the farmlands can still support us, or if the Grim Dawn claimed them as it did Burwich.
Okay, so essentially we have to find a way to reach or connect to Homestead, and then we gotta figure out whether the farmlands can still support us or if the Grim Dawn claimed them as it did Burwich. So what can we expect out there?
Nobody's been as far north as Homestead in months, so I can only imagine what sort of horrors have crawled out of the mountain crags following the Grim Dawn. Stay sharp out there.
He says nobody's been as far north as Homestead in months, so he expects some pretty grim shit, you know, some pretty Grim Dawn shit. He says stay sharp out there, and we will. Very sharp, since, you know, I'm using guns and you're using
Blunt weapon.
a blunt weapon, it will stay extremely sharp.
Yeah. Wait, where's Homestead?
That is an excellent question.
Holy shit! It's on the left side.
It's on the left side. Oh, oh
Yeah,
my.
it's past Tyrant's Hold and stuff.
So, probably gotta go to Twin Falls. He also mentioned Twin Falls in his talkings. Like that there's some bridge where he hopes that it's still standing or whatever. So maybe we go to Twin Falls and then go from there, huh?
Honestly, I would still go to Old Arkovia because we kind of didn't finish off the little... Well, actually, hang on. Let me check in the world map. Yeah, we left before talking to, like, Skinny Knife or whatever the fuck his name was.
Did we?
Yeah, it was... Like, it was an NPC. We can go back to your rift. Or my rift. Was it my rift? Yeah, it was my rift, right?
Yeah, probably. I already messed up. Hello.
Hello. Whoops. I
Okay.
completely forgot I could do that.
You immediately decide to bone me.
Yeah, I like boning.
Alright.
Look. There's a guy in a cage.
Frankie the knife, but hold on, we're on your side, don't kill us. My side, why are you in a cage? The stuff going on out there is nothing compared to what's in this mine. Cronley is building himself an army of ascended and we want nothing to do with it. Of course you don't take too kindly to people leaving his little gold. Got caught trying to leave. Now we're waiting our turn with the pitmaster. He tears people apart like an animal. I don't want to be here when he gets bored with the guts splattering the arena walls. Let us go, we won't cause no trouble no more. That's a promise. We're outlaws, and why should we spare you? Look, Cronley's gone off the deep end, crazy with power from those green crystals. I've seen what he does with his inner circle. Takes them to a secret room where he plunges shards into their flesh. That's when I was sure I wanted out of this gig. I get it, you're here to end it. You're one of them good people, but I can help you. Let us go, and I'll tell you where he hides the big crystal. Then you can end this madness for good. Well, we already did that, right? But sure, we're listening. Oh. There, thought you were gonna kill us. Alright, so Cronley don't leave them mind much no more. He's too busy creating more of his ascendant. You're gonna have to go through them before you even see his ugly mug. But if you somehow survive, check behind Cronley's bed. There's a gap in the wall that leads to his little hideout. That's where Cronley does all his twisted experiments. Wreck the place, and nobody's gonna think twice about using those crystals again. Yeah, okay, sure, just get out of here then.
Yeah, we already did all that stuff.
Yeah. I spare them. I had the option to kill them still, but...
Well, they are technically speaking criminales.
True.
That did some shady shit.
Yeah, definitely.
And they were on what's his face side, Cronley's side, until
Yeah.
you know Cronley started doing crazy shit. So technically speaking, it wouldn't have been weird if we killed him, but to kill unarmed men that surrendered is excuse me, a little weird.
True.
So yeah, we can go through Cronley's mine to get to Twin Falls. What was it called again?
Yeah, Twin Falls, yeah. Or we could teleport there.
Yeah, and I think that teleporting is most likely a little bit easier.
And faster.
Yep.
Straight into action we go.
And I immediately level up. Oh yeah.
Damn. Going fast for you.
Well, I wouldn't say fast, but yeah.
So... I have a star here with Palda, but on my screen it's not really showing like a quest.
Yeah, I got the same thing here.
Oh, no,
I think it's I don't think it's talking to him necessarily.
Hmm.
Or maybe it is.
I can just try. Hello there. Be wary, traveler. The savages living up in the foothills have destroyed this once magnificent structure in an effort to trap the victims. With the bridge gone and the road to Smuggler's Pass washed out by storms, the way north is barred to us. Is there no other way? There is one other, but you would be a fool to try it. South of here, there are ruins of the ancient city of Arkovia. There's a passage there through the Arkovian undercity that leads into the broken hills. You would be wise to turn back. That is the realm of the cursed dead. The cursed dead? Yes, the remnants of Arkovia's cursed people. Their tale is a tragic one, but none could tell it better than Mkala back at our camp in New Harbor. Well, thanks for the warning. We already spoke to her and she told us the story, so we are well aware.
Yeah, but the bridge is broken.
Yeah, so we'll have to find a path through Smuggler's ass.
Through Smuggler's ass. Nice.
Alright. Some good old killing time.
Yeah, I'm gonna go this way because I think this actually leads to. I keep forgetting I can do that. But yeah, it leads to the area that I was looking at previously.
Oh yeah, yeah, with the skeletal priest.
Yeah, and the night and stuff. Well, that was.
Well, it did turn night now, so.
So funny.
Yeah. Found a recipe for the elixir of the hunt.
No, I found a blueprint for something called Juggernaut.
Hmm. I flipped the
Sugar.
corpse.
You had the mark of the traveler. Whoa. Hold on.
Whoa.
I was looking at the wrong thing. I was like, oh, look at all these stats. Realized that it was my ring that I was looking at.
Oh.
I also flipped the corpse.
Nice. Oh, there's a enemy hero. Why do they always work with dots? I don't like that.
Oh. Spell-bladed horns.
A helmet. What is it, huh?
Nothing.
It's friggin' dark right now, though.
Yeah. They killed my fat boy, too. Like,
Oh. That's rough.
yeah.
May he rest in grease.
That one was actually kind of good.
Thank you. Finally, some appreciation. Hey, level up.
Nice. Congratulations.
And just like that, it turns to day as well.
I
Wow.
keep forgetting I can do certain things.
The big boy just completely smacked that guy. Made him be gone. Just like we smacked that hero.
Big on. Fuck. Ow. Been shot in the face by a ghost. That's not a sentence you hear very often.
No, definitely not.
Imagine getting splooged in the face by a ghost, though.
That's very interesting. What do you think it would feel like?
I don't know. Would it feel like anything? Because technically they are a ghost.
Yeah.
Oh look, there's another little group coming this way. They're walking very slowly. I
They
don't like
did.
this. Do you know why I don't like this?
No.
Because it's like, it's so much stuff.
Yeah, you know, I'm leaving so many things on the ground.
I'm just leaving like the yellow stuff on the ground. I don't really care anymore.
Very understandable.
Like I'll like hover over it to see if it's any good, but for the most part it's not. So I'm just like
Yeah.
not giving a shit. Well, that was it. Pants of Nature's Bounty. Sounds kind of weird.
Yeah, it does sound very weird. Okay, so I think we should make a cut here since we passed the half hour. We can
Oh,
pick
shit.
up some stuff, go sell, and then continue.
Yeah, might as well not pick up all the yellow stuff.
Yeah.
Bye, people.
Yeah, we'll see you in the next episode. Until then, you take care and goodbye.